Hello everyone, AutoChamp Wandelen over here, and right next to me is the Nio ET5. Can you believe this, everyone? This is yet again another electric Chinese car. This time it is something unique. It is a shooting brake. Well, also another name for estate wagon. And it's quite rare that car manufacturers come up with electric estate wagons. Wait, everyone. This is a very exciting development. I'm so happy to see this. Yes, this is another electric Chinese car that's in an estate wagon, and that's from a brand which I've not exactly heard of, called Nio. Something humble, but quite typical for an electric car manufacturer, right? You expect something very humble, as if it's just come straight from a video game. How amazing is this? But let's not get too excited, everyone. It's not all pink roses. I already spotted some problems, and to be fair, these are similar problems I've seen on other EVs from other car manufacturers. So push the subscribe button, push the notification button, and watch my car review till the end, because I have a lot to say about this Nio ET5. I think they should change the name to New ET5. Oh, that sounds amazing, actually. I think I'll call it New ET5. The rear design looks like a combination between Jaguar and Porsche. Is it just me, or does it look like a Jaguar from this angle? Is it just me, or does the design of the wheel look like something from Mercedes? Now, looking at the front, I realized you guys have a 360-degree parking camera, or I think more than that. I will have a look at the infotainment system together. This is very interesting. Now, I've been trying to understand what exactly separates the Nio identity from others. Like, what is it that separates this car from other EVs? In fact, from certain angles, it's starting to make me think of Lotus, guys. But I think what separates it from other brands would be the fact that you get this gap in the LED lights. That's perhaps one of the things that separates it from other manufacturers. Now, I don't quite like the idea of putting the safety systems and the camera right on the roof sticking out. I mean, look at this. It looks like something you'd expect to see on a police car or on a taxi or something, you see, or public transport. It's not something you'd expect to see on your dream car. I mean, you'd expect it to be all, you know, like plain, something like that. Come on. This is also the similar problem I've noticed on Volvo electric cars and Lotus as well. I gotta give it to them. They did a good job with those pop-out door handles. Look at it. It's very nice. Wow. Did you guys just see this? I didn't even pull it and the door opened. This is great. So let's try this again. So, wait, I think, oh, so I just have to touch it. So all I do is just put my hand here, and the car automatically knows you intend to open it. So there's a sensor here. But in terms of door sound, they don't exactly beat the German competitors like Mercedes, BMW, and the Volkswagen Group. Listen to this. By the way, whenever I close the front door, this is the front passenger door, the door shakes for some reason. Like for a nanosecond, you'll notice there's a lot of shaking. Let's see if this is the case for the rear doors. Okay, let's try this, everyone. So, okay, the rear door seems better. Now, in terms of door sounds, they are nothing extraordinary, but in terms of the shaking, well, there's a bit of shaking above, but then to be fair, I noticed this on other EV car manufacturers, especially on the Volkswagen ID3. I remember the top of the door would shake a lot. Just like a Porsche or any coupe style car, you get frameless windows. How interesting is this? A state wagon, a shooting brake with frameless windows. Now over to the interior of the Nio ET5. I just opened the front passenger door and I noticed this whole area over here. It looks very sporty, but it kind of reminds me of my experience with Lotus, the Lotus Eletre in particular, and the Lotus Emea. It's quite interesting. It's pleasant to see that both front seats are electrically adjustable, and the electric seating adjustment is very nicely detailed. It's amazing. Now, sitting on the driver's seat, it's quite an interesting experience. First of all, when I open and close the door handle is very thin, and it's even disguised within the design. So at first glance, you'll not even notice that door handle. And the window buttons are very humble. This is one of the most interesting interiors, everyone. It's very simple, and I think they did a really interesting job with this. It's kind of like most EV cars of today. Now it's getting a bit boring how everybody wants to play it humble. Now there's something about the steering wheel that gives me smart vibes. When I say smart, I mean the brand itself, the car brand. associated with Mercedes. They seem to have something in common with, especially with the way they've designed it. And then the humble dashboard. Now, I'm not a fan of this kind of dashboard, and I had to say the same thing about the Geely Group. I know Volvo and Lotus, if I'm not mistaken, they've been also obsessing with humble dashboards. I prefer something very busy, like what you've seen on BMW and the Volkswagen Group and Mercedes, where the instrument cluster is big. And then over here you get your infotainment system. It's very nice, very engaging. Just perhaps not on par with what you've seen in BMW and the Volkswagen Group, but it gets the job done and it is still good. You even get live traffic notifications. So this is very, very interesting. I don't like the design, but I like the concept. Okay, it looks good, but I don't like this gray material you see over here, everyone. It looks very plain. It looks very budget, in my opinion. And then so does this cup holder right here that's sitting here as if it were an afterthought. I like the concept, but just the material just looks a bit budget, in my opinion. Now over here you get your central console storage, which is rather deep. It's quite interesting. It cocoons you. This whole area cocoons you. That's quite nice. And you get storage space underneath as well. But yeah, I just realized you don't get any glove box. There's no glove box over there. All right, that's a bit of a surprise. You get a panoramic sunroof, no sunglasses holder over here. And then the door bin is rather shallow. So I can already tell that in terms of practicality, it seems like that has been compromised in favor of some modernized design. Over to the rear seats, it's quite interesting. It's a very, very low setting from what I'm already seeing, everyone. The floor is impressively flat, but at the same time, isn't the seat a little bit too low itself? We're gonna find out if this creates some inconvenience, because I already have my doubts about the simplicity at the rear. But at the same time, I think I see it's something. By the way, on a side note, I just realized you get soft close as well. Can you believe it? Let's test this again. Let's test. Oh my goodness. 72,000 euros, and this car gives you soft close. This is a feature which not many car manufacturers actually would bother giving you, let alone at a price of 72,000 euros. This is very, very impressive, and this is very rare. But at the same time, no backseat pockets. The back, there's no feature. It's all plain here at the back of the driver's seat and front seat passenger, and there's no climate control or anything. But that's, I mean, already this car is generous enough, so I'm not really going to complain. Armrest over here with two cup holders, which is nicely detailed. That's impressive. But the thing is, because the seat is so low, I'm forced to have my knees in this position. So that's a little bit of a compromise. But then to be fair, you get enough headroom, and the headrest itself is okay. It's good. In terms of style, it's very average for an electric car. It's like my experience in Tesla cars. It's kind of like my experience in Tesla cars and Polestar cars. It's all glass everywhere, spacious, and that's it. Honestly, I'm not a fan of this idea, but then to be fair, why not? And now it's time to check out the boot space of this Nio ET5. You know, for a second I almost forgot its name. Oh dear. Okay, so button just underneath. That has to be one of the slowest back doors I've seen. Now the boot space is quite interesting, although I'm just under the impression that it's a bit shallow, but that's just my first impression based on the boot floor. But thank goodness it's adjustable. You can even remove it, or you can leave it in this position as a divider. This is very, very impressive, everyone. It's very, very practical from what I've seen. And I like the metallic platings over here. It gives it a premium look, and at the same time, the body paint doesn't stick out so much, so it's easy to load luggages in and out without this concern of scratching your paint. But at the same time, I would just urge you be careful, because the gap is a bit too much here, and my knees are making contact constantly with the bumper, trying to reach whatever is at the edge over there. So just in long terms, you have to be careful. So here's my conclusion of the Nio ET5. Or what I also called at the beginning of this video, New ET5. So basically a new electric estate wagon that's a good alternative to that of the BMW i5 and the Audi A6 e-tron. Frankly, both of which are perhaps more than 80,000 euros, or if they were 70,000 euros, they would not be offering soft close now, would they? But at the same time, they do have the identity. Whereas this Nio ET5, I have to say the interior and exterior is a bit of a mishmash of what I've seen of various car manufacturers. It had me thinking it was a Jaguar at first glance. Can you believe that? And at the same time, from certain angles, it was a bit conflicting for me to know who exactly was this car competing against. But then, upon closer inspection, it has me thinking of something like a Polestar 4 and a Volvo ES90 competitor, based on the price tag of 72,000 euros. And it's very interesting. It's got potentials, I see. But on the other side of the scale, I failed to see what exactly was extraordinary. What is it that makes it stand out from the competition? Because BMW and Audi estates, they have the identity. BYD has something also of its own, but at the same time, they don't exactly have an estate wagon of this price range now, do they? And at the same time, when it comes to Chinese car manufacturers, Japanese car manufacturers, and South Korean car manufacturers, they do offer value for money, they do offer the reliability, but at the same time, they've always had an identity crisis. But then if you're looking for a company vehicle that's not very expensive, but at the same time very well equipped, and you need to drive from A to B, this will be a very interesting candidate, everyone. I can already tell you this. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. Check the link in the description for my car reviews of cars that potentially compete against this Nio ET5, and of course, other interesting electric cars which I think are worth checking out. I will see you all next time.